Welcome back to Broken Electronics. It's great to be here with you again. To complete a side note, I've explained how the order in which I release videos is not necessarily the order in which I record them. This will be the first video that I've recorded using my new webcam. I'm hoping that it's going to give a sharper image and generally work better for these little introductions that I do. And if it doesn't, no great harm done. Now, I went into this in a little bit more detail as to the videos. You may very well see a video with an intro recorded in this webcam before you see this one, but this is the first one that was recorded. Anyway, the saga of the upgrades on the PowerBook G3 Wallstreet PDQ continue. The upgrades have all worked. Everything's fine. The only problem is operating systems. Now, OS 9 installs with no issue at all. The machine is perfectly functional, running OS 9.2.2. I have been trying to get Mac OS 10 installed. And it's been trying. So today's video will be a continuation of getting OS 10 installed in that computer. Will it be successful? You can only find out one way. So please stay tuned. Okay, I'm losing my mind. I tried taking out the PCMCIA card. It's booted up into the installer, but you can hardly see the screen, and it isn't responding to the keyboard. But it's a step in the right direction. So I guess I will shut it down. And keep trying it until something happens, but at least... Alright, I know this is going on forever. I may make this into two separate videos, ending the first one after the time I actually ended the clip. Alright, now, what I've done to get to this point, I had, as I pointed out last time, I removed the PCMCIA Adaptec Dual Connect card, and it started to boot, but the screen dimmed. It wouldn't respond to the computer's brightness control that's built in. So, it's getting late now, I'm really sorry. So, anyhow, I shut it down using Control Function Shift, pressing the power button. Ejected the disk, started up into OS 9 normally, reinserted the disk, shut it down, started holding the C key, and here we are. So I'm just going to install Jaguar, and we'll see what happens. Might as well let you watch for a bit here. Yeah, I'm a speed reader, and I don't even need to scroll down. I can see it that quickly. Okay. Uh-oh. Won't let me do it. Cannot install Mac OS X on this disk. You cannot start up your computer using this disk. All right, now, see, I'm wondering if maybe I understand what's going on. Okay, open disk utility. When I installed OS 9, it formatted the drive as macOS standard. So I'm thinking here, what I may need to do is format the drive as macOS extended journals. Oh, look at that. 55.9 gigabytes MSATA. It even recognizes that, even though I don't know that MSATA actually existed at that point. How about that? MSATA 60 gigabyte SSD media. It's just reading what the drive is telling it. HFS. Huh. Now, if we click partition, select the single disk in order to set it up. Okay, so that's going to give us two 30 gig SSDs. Yeah, okay, maybe this will work. Come on. Okay. Let's name this Jaguar SSD. Okay, macOS extended. If we go up here, still says macOS extended. Since we've given it a different name, or the other one a different name, we can, well, all right. Let's try to name this Mac OS 9 SSD. Now, is that going to erase the disk? Will erase all existing volumes? No. Okay. Let's go back to the one partition. Sorry. Okay. And just go ahead and partition it. Now that's going to erase the OS 9 that I worked so hard to install. But that's okay. Once Jaguar is set up, I should simply be able to install OS 9 on top of it. I hope. Now, I will have to get OS 9 on here one way or another, because there is no Jaguar native web browser. ClassZilla has to run on OS 9. So, I suppose we'll do that. Okay. Click on this. Let's go back to information. Yeah, that's a ghost. That's a ghost. Okay. So we can get out of disk utility, back into the installer. And it still won't let me install. Okay, as of now, there is no operating system. Well, that sucks. So we're just going to restart and see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, I went back and restarted the installer, opened disk utility, and this time erased the drive, installed the OS 9 drivers. Now, the error message I'm getting is a little different. It says you cannot install macOS 10 on this disk. The destination is not within the first 8 gigabytes of the hard disk, which is a different message than we were getting before. So, let's open disk utility again. And this time, let's click partition. Split it again. Now, just to make, come on, just to make clear what's going on here, we're going to give this a and like data, because the bulk of the drive is going to end up being extra data. All right. And having renamed, oops, come on, we don't want to do that. Oh. Okay. Now, okay, let's make it 7.5 just to be on the safe side. And that should be plenty of room. I mean, heck, the original hard drive is only 2 gig. And we will be able to install OS 9 over the top of this, and everything should be able to work. And the OS 9 drivers are going to be installed, which will be important. Yeah. We've already erased this twice. See, where the original problem ran into was simply having that PCMCIA card plugged in. Once I removed that, it started to work. Okay, so they're both mounted now, and we should be in good shape. So we will quit our disk utility. And now we'll continue. So we see here the two data SSD we can't install onto that, but we can install onto Macintosh SSD. It's not letting me click on it. Okay, look, I'm going to fuss with this. Okay, somewhere in the midst of all of this, my iPhone battery died. Okay, now, I have no idea when that last clip finished, so let me cover this again. I had gotten to this point, but I was unable to select the destination disk and click continue. But now I am able to do that. All right, I'm going to customize. And I got to this point simply by restarting. Yeah, the additional applications we want. Now, I'm going to deselect additional printer drivers. And just for the heck of it, we'll put on Lexmark, which we probably don't need. Additional Asian fonts we don't need. And we'll install. Now, what's happening, I got to preparing the disk, and it just sort of died there. The CD shut down. I went to restart the installer, and the CD kicked up again, but I think that was only because I had selected that. So we may be getting stuck here. So, either I'm going to install Jaguar, and I guess we'll probably see you when Jaguar is installed, or if this doesn't work, I'm just going to go back and install OS 9 on that smaller partition just so I have an operating system. Then I'll try installing Jaguar again. Maybe it'll work. All right. Well, I will leave you to... Well, I guess you won't have to wonder because you'll be right back very, very quickly. So stay tuned. All right. At the very least, we're back to square one. I have Mac OS 9 installed again on that initial partition. Now, with Mac OS 9 installed, I will take one more shot at installing Jaguar. Lord knows, maybe it will work this time. Stay tuned. Well, it's actually getting worse. It had been hanging at the point just after you selected the destination disk. Now it's hanging even before I get to that point. So I think the wise thing to do at this stage is to shut it down and to have at it tomorrow. So at least for the moment, we're going to end this and we'll see where it goes. So yeah, for the moment, stay tuned. Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing now, I'm attempting to install macOS 10.0 Cheetah. Now, you might wonder, after my earlier, it was actually last night, a day has gone by, my earlier disparaging remarks about Puma, well, I actually would prefer to try installing Puma, but the only disk I have is an upgrade from Cheetah. And realistically, why am I doing this? I'm doing this simply to see if any version of Mac OS X is going to install. So let's customize. Okay. So we'll just basically deselect everything there that we can, and let's install. Now this is where it would fail. I suppose if this does install, what we can try doing will be to upgrade it to Puma, and then the drive's pretty quiet, and then try to upgrade to Jaguar, but this is the point that it's always failed. So I'm going to wait this out a bit. You can stay tuned. Well, it got a little further. It says it's installing right now and writing files, yet the CD drive is dead quiet, so this is probably not working, but I'm just going to let it run while I work on dinner. Take care and stay tuned. All right, it hasn't moved and there has been zero activity, at least while I've been anywhere near, from the optical drive. So it is safe to include, oh, I see the progress bar has moved a little bit. I think it's safe to include, to conclude at this point that there is no version of OS X that is going to get installed, even though the machine should be capable of it. Now, the only other time I had this problem was with my iMac G3, where much the same. I could install macOS 9, 9.2.2, but I could not install either Panther or Jaguar. Now, I didn't try Cheetah, but there's no reason to think there would be any success in that. All right, now, hitting some keys randomly on the keyboard tends to kick up the optical drive, but it's not going to install. Now, I have no idea, but it is something to research. Could there be some kind of firmware upgrade that this machine would need to be able to run OS X? That's certainly possible. And it's something to check out. And the reason I say that, I had a similar problem with my PowerMac G4 gigabit Ethernet. I could not install Leopard. Now, theoretically, it isn't supposed to, but I had managed to get Leopard installed without great difficulty on the Sawtooth. Now, the gigabit Ethernet is just a Sawtooth without the internal FireWire port, but with, obviously, gigabit Ethernet. So if I could install it on a Sawtooth, there's absolutely no reason that I couldn't install it. And I did discover it was exactly that. There's a firmware update that someone in the past had done to the Sawtooth that whoever had originally owned the gigabit Ethernet had not done. Once I found that update and updated the firmware, it installed with no great problem. Well, some look into, but at this point, I am simply going to set up macOS 9 as I explained. It's tantalizing because the installer will start. It just hangs. You could wonder, is it the CD drive? But I have no way of trying another one, at least at this point, unless I were to buy one. But I don't think it's that, because that drive worked absolutely fine for installing macOS 9. So, yeah, set up macOS 9 and then continue to do some research. And I'll throw this out again. If there's anybody out there who knows anything about this and why I'm having such a problem with this, please chime in and comment, and maybe together we can get this worked out. It's worked in the past. Well, anyway, be good to other people. We need to make this world better. Be good to yourselves so you can enjoy the better world. And of course, since it is not better, take very good and careful care in these difficult times. We'll be back with you soon with more videos. This has been, until that time, Broken Electronics.